Am I the asshole in-laws don't want to accept my daughter? Please excuse grammar and punctuation on PC but not good at writing anything. My in-laws blatantly ignore my 2-year-old daughter but idolize my 5-year-old son. It finally came to a head when they just randomly shower him with gifts and would regularly say my grandson and the other one. I finally went up to them and told them that until they realize they have 2 grandkids and not just one, that they will not be seeing either anytime soon. Loaded the family back into the car and left. That was 2 weeks ago and there has been no contact at all. Am I the a-hole?
Nope, not the asshole. The in-laws clearly only see grandsons as being worthy of attention and not granddaughters. My husband was the golden child to his grandparents on his dad's side, and my Sil was treated like a random girl who would show up. You're doing the right thing by standing your ground and stating that that's not okay.
Not the asshole. Differential treatment is not a joke and it's good that you did something. The only thing is the fact that you didn't do anything to stop it before. She's 2 so shouldn't you have done something before?
Not the asshole. Your first responsibility is to protect your kids. Well done. You can't accept this kind of favoritism.
Not the asshole. My Nana, my dad's mom, loved all her grandkids, but my siblings and I definitely felt like the other ones. We felt this with my dad's whole family. The crazy thing is, most of the other ones had issues of some sort: drugs, alcohol, flunking school, etc. My siblings and I were honor students, involved in the community, varsity athletes, etc. My mom told me that she thinks she was like that because she knew she, Nana, didn't have to worry about us. I loved my Nana, but that's not a good reason, if true, to make us feel like the others. I think you handled it well. I can't remember just how many times we had family gatherings, holidays that I just brought a book with me so I had something to do while I was ignored. Edit to add that my cousins, in everyone else's eyes, could do no wrong and were like golden children. So, not only were we ignored, we felt less than.
Not the asshole. You're doing the right thing. If you let it continue, it could have spiraled into sibling rivalry. I know of a brother and sister that for years got treated like one of them is better than the other, and it was a physically and mentally abusive relationship for over 2 decades. Good job for saving your children. Not the asshole. Check out our Just No Mill for similar stories to keep that spine nice and shiny.
Not the asshole. You're doing the right thing. Favoritism hurts kids, and not just the kid that isn't favored. Your son could grow up worrying that his sister resents him and/or resent his grandparents for it too. If she did resent him, they would deserve it.
Not the asshole for cutting them off, but an asshole for letting it go on for 2 years. I'm glad you've realized this before your daughter is old enough to see the favoritism. Toxic grandparents are worse than no grandparents. Favoritism screws everyone up.
Wow, just wow. Some people are better out of your life than in it. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. This will be as fuckfecting your daughter, so you need to do what's best for your children. Ironically, your in-laws need to grow up.
Not the asshole. Blatant favoritism will only destroy relationship between the siblings.
Not the asshole. Good for you.
Not the asshole. Info. How does your husband react? Hopefully he stands up for this daughter as well.
Not the asshole, and thank you for standing up for equal treatment of your kids. My grandparents were like that and always made me feel inadequate for being female while my brother was a credit to the family. They would never ask how I was when they spoke to my dad, and I would get in trouble for any perceived slight against them. It's a really shitty feeling. They were also both awful people and emotionally abusive to my dad for a lot of his life, so it didn't take long to work out it wasn't about me.
100% not the asshole. My girlfriend grandparents did this to her and she still is really upset by it. She is the oldest child, but the Gerants only cared about her younger brother because he was a boy. We are 34 and she still talks about it with hurt. Not sure if they are dead or no contact, but those hurtful feelings is all she has ever told me about those grandparents over 6 years. This is something that will scar her for life. You need to stand up for her.
Not the asshole. I was the other one growing up. I can laugh about it now, but at the time, it sucked. I'm Asian. My brother was the first grandson with the family name. Turns out he would be the only grandson with the family name. Ironically, my brother is gay, so he has never had kids to continue the family name. My paternal grandparents doted on my brother, giving him money, as I guess grandparents do, every time they saw him, in front of me. When I was 9, my grandfather gave my brother $20, not a special occasion or anything. I asked my grandfather where my money was. He said my brother was 10, so when I was 10, I would get money. Don't think I didn't ask for money when I turned 10. He gave it the name but was not happy about it. When my brother graduated from college, they gave him $1,000. When I graduated from college a year later, I got nothing. I'm 50 now and remember it well. Good on you, Op, for standing up for your daughter.
Not the asshole, A Bulls Hitalutely not. Good on you for standing firm and standing up for your daughter. It is not easy to speak out in this way, especially to your in-laws, but poor behavior is poor behavior regardless of the perpetrator. Stay strong.
Not the asshole. Stand your ground and protect these babies. They're both worthy of love and attention, not just your son. Until the grandparents realize this, they get to see neither. Don't let them contact you and don't respond if they try.
Nope. Not the asshole. My parents played this game with my husband, as fuck till they extended their blessing when he asked to marry me. Now they totally ignore him, or any stories I have of him. So, I don't talk to them. There were a lot of other issues, but if they didn't want to acknowledge another human, they can get effed. Info is the 2-year-old daughter their step-grandchild. Edit, not the asshole, but I just needed some info first to understand the situation.
Not the asshole. Treatment like that will mess your daughter up badly. Getting her out of that situation was the right thing to do. Not the asshole. Good for you, Up. You did the right thing. It is better to have no grandparents than grandparents like that. No, not the asshole. If you did not stop it now, it would have probably become a huge problem in your 2-year-old's life in the future. Having a favorite grandkid is really messed up.
Not the asshole. My friend is in the same situation, genders reversed. Her children are lovely and nobody can figure out why they so prefer the older daughter. She told her parents they can't see the kids for now, since if the son is around he gets ignored, and if he's not and they take the daughter out, he feels neglected. The kids' needs come way before the grandparents.
Not the asshole. Their excuse of you daughter not being around long enough to love shoes, they should spend more time with her so they would love her. Keep away. That's a hill to die on.
Not the asshole. You are protecting your children from their assy grandparents who think it's okay to treat family in a shitty manner.
Not the asshole. Their behavior is just unexplainable. Not the asshole. Nip this early to avoid a lifetime of favoritism and pain. Both children should be loved equally.
Not the asshole. That's what a parent should do.
NTA such blatant sexism.
Obviously not the asshole. Good for you cutting that shit out before your kids really start to notice and internalize it. If your son ever asks why he got more presents, say it was because he was older and never because his grandparents liked him better. Never let him have that info to hold over his sister. I have distinct and still hurtful memories of going over to the grandparents' house for the holidays and all the cousins having piles of presents to open while we had maybe a present and a card. The imbalance was obvious and painful. I wonder what the other 90% of this story is. I can't judge based on these cherry-picked scant details. Info.
Just normal is just the place for y'all.
Not the asshole. This is what you should be doing. It is definitely abusive to your daughter, but it is also abusive to your son. It created a really unhealthy dynamic. Good on you.
Not the asshole. Good for you, Mama Bear. Don't expose either of your kids to that kind of favoritism.
NTA. This was one of the driving factors that made us go no contact with my mill. I remember my 4-year-old daughter asking, "Why doesn't Nana like me?" It was heartbreaking. My children and I haven't spoken to her in 6 years now. She has completely missed out on her only grandchildren's lives because she had to make a baby feel less than. It's not the full reason we cut her off, but it is the one thing that made my husband finally see her for who she is.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You need to protect your daughter from the trauma that will and already has result from that sort of treatment.
Not the asshole. This sounds like my grandma. She never asked about me but will asked about my brother, but she does send money and I don't have to do anything. If they're gonna be like this, it's best to cut ties.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. They are choosing to show favoritism between their grandkids. And honestly, unless they choose to end this, it's for the best for both your kids. Your daughter doesn't need people in her life making her feel like a second-class citizen, and it would eventually spoil her relationship with her brother.
NYA, well done on protecting your kids. Both of them. That attitude will wreck your son as well as your daughter and will ruin their sibling relationship.
Not the asshole, but maybe you should have explained the situation and how it makes you feel a bit more before taking off.
When I was about 13, my mum yelled at me, "For God's sake, when are you gonna realize grandma and granddad love sister more and they just buy you shit so they don't feel so bad?" As the blatantly unwanted child, oldest of 4 girls, that stuff stays with you. Thank you for forcing shitty grandparents to step up or F off.
That is an interesting perspective. Sorry you had to deal with it too. My brothers are very social, so they didn't have the exact same experience as my sister and I, who were more shy, but we all had that less than feeling.
Not the asshole. You Kate for both of your children and should not be tolerating that utter bullshit. Good on you for standing up for your daughter. Not the asshole. Great of you to do that, since I went through being treated differently by my grandmother in my dad's side because as she is my younger sister's godmother and not mine, she used this to shower my sister with attention and always made her the priority. I was left aside constantly and my wishes were not considered. Because of this, I grew up always trying to be better than my sister and the smartest possible to feel worthy of attention, and still have issues with failure and being left out.
Everyone sucks here. The in-laws for obvious reasons and you for going DEFCON 1 the first time you brought up the subject with them. If you told them multiple times about the issue and they were still acting like that, then you're not the asshole.